So thank you so much, Col Sudip Mukerjee. I'm so glad and happy to have you in Resonant Reflection. To give an idea to my audience about you, I've done my NLP with you, I think 5 years back. So Col Sudip Mukerjee is an NLP expert. Now he's working with organizations and he's working specially related to the strategic operational influencing, particularly on negotiation and basically working with the organizations. So you're welcome, Col Sudip Mukerjee. Before moving forward, if you want to give a glance more about what you do now these days.
So, business is about people, whether it is managing employees or managing customers or managing stakeholders or managing vendors or suppliers, it's people to people. So if you can read people and if you can influence people, you can actually grow your business.
Truly said.
So
when you say read people, what do you mean by that?
By figuring out what the people in front of you want, what are their strengths, what are their drawbacks, how you can help them grow. So if I can help you grow, obviously you will want to do something for me. So that's how it works.
And just want to know that, yes, I know that even I have experienced that the way you scan individuals, the way you scan their patterns, it's amazing. How you do that? What are the tools, like what are the configuration and the understanding? What exactly is going on in your head to understand and scan the person? You can give us an idea.
It's a lot of things. So firstly, it's physiology, how the person keeps their bodies, how they move their bodies, plus the language that they speak, plus their tonality, plus how they process information, how their eyes move, when you say something, how are they reacting to it, and how do they come back, what do they say in return. All these things are analyzed in order to analyze human behavior. You can't just take one input and say that this is it. It is a comprehensive list of things that needs to be done.
Very true. But even I have, certain chances to work with the organization and corporate trainings. But I have faced certain kind of a restriction and a resistance in corporate world when they talk about, especially for neuro-linguistic programming, and they call it as a pseudoscience. Like that's my encounter with these people. How do you feel? Do you face the same things? Like, do really people feel like that in corporate industry?
It doesn't matter. What people think of a name is immaterial. What they're interested in is how you can help them and make their future better. How can you help them grow? So whether you're using NLP or PSP or whatever is immaterial. So you should not get into discussions over things which are meaningless. We understand how NLP was evolved through modeling therapists of that time who were the leaders in their field, and those are scientifically backed stuff. So if you take 4 scientifically backed stuff and put it together, it is also scientifically backed. It is not a pseudoscience.
Yes.
So I don't get into discussions regarding what it is.
Okay. So how you packaged the modules and the overall understanding, how you work, if you can give an idea about your work with the organization, what exactly the module looks like, how you work with them.
It depends on what problem they are facing. For example, it can be the managers are not getting along with each other, or it can be that their productivity is not at the level it can be, or their sales team is not delivering what they are supposed to deliver. So depending on what the problem is, we go inside, we interact with the people, we figure out what is working, what is not working, what are the drawbacks of the people, if upskilling is required in any way, or if there has to be a change in the organizational structure. So whatever is the issue, we can go them and help them figure it out, help them resolve it, and then suddenly they'll find that they are hitting all the targets and doing well.
So what are your basic tools like when you work with them? Like exactly what tools and interventions you prefer using in your programs?
So I don't use any tools. The most important thing is analysis. Tools
Diagnosis.
yeah, the most important thing is to figure out what is not working. Unfortunately, we are most focused on the solution and what tool we will use, whether we'll use a wrench or a screwdriver or a plier. We are busy formulating those things without understanding that, a plier can be used to loosen a nut as well, right? Or a wrench can be used as a hammer as well. So the tools are immaterial. The most important part is what is the problem that is there and why is the problem existing. So analysis is perhaps the most important part, which not many people give weightage to, and that's where they go wrong.
Absolutely. I truly believe in this because I have also experienced in certain cases that industries now the to-do list. They just want to go, these modules are being delivered, and they just go and deliver most of the trainers.
Yeah,
But
so it doesn't work. It doesn't work because, for example, if a manager and a employee are not getting along, and the manager will report to the HR is that this guy, his communication is not good, and you send 5 such employees or 10 such employees for a communication training, there's nothing wrong with the communication. The problem is in the relationship. So you can make him go through 20 such trainings and nothing will change. So training needs analysis is something which is not carried out well enough, and because of that, organizations suffer.
Absolutely. So now coming on to another topic, which is little different, and I want to go deep into this topic because I have hearing from a lot of trainers, a lot of therapists. There are certain gadgets in the market. They're talking about, because so many people in the industry these days, they're working on energy psychology. They're working on frequencies and vibrations, and now they're coming up with the gadgets. Now they're very conviction. They have a conviction behind the answers that yes, these will enhance and this will heal your vibrations. Because what is health? Health is like when your energy systems and your frequencies is actually matching the frequency of the universe. So they pretend, even the spiritual gurus and a lot of people, they are marketing these products. So what do you want to say on this?
Okay. So there are two things to it. Number one is, yes, we are all energy, right? If you see the Sanatan system of chakras, so each chakra has a different frequency of vibration. If all are in alignment, everything is fine. If there is misalignment, there is a problem. So yes, energy exists. Can you measure energy? Yes, there are gadgets to measure energy. The question is, how can you change energy?
Yeah.
So to change energy, you would require an energetic source, right? We are talking basic physics now. We are not talking about the human being at all.
Absolutely.
Right? In order to change an energy of a person or a thing, you need an energetic source to do something to it so that energy changes. Now, all these gadgets, they are passive. They are not active gadgets. They don't give out energy. They read energy. So by reading energy, can you change the energy? No. Right? The EEG, or the electroencephalographs, right? A lot of equipment are there which uses EEG. Right? So it's just reading. It's not changing anything. What you do with that reading is what will make the difference. The equipment itself will not make a difference. So if somebody is saying that I am selling you this equipment to become better, sorry, they are fooling you.
Hello.
Yeah.
So your video got stuck. Yeah. But now even one of my good friends, she says that this particular product, if you put a product on a certain program that somebody is having a fever, even she's using for her kids. Like if her daughter is having a fever, she will set up a certain program, and this healing will not only will read the frequency and the vibrations, but actually will provide those kind of vibrations to in her environment and energy system, which can actually heal her.
How?
I really don't know.
So you have to ask those questions. How will that energy be produced? What is the
So
means of
what they
producing the
have,
energy? Hello.
so what they said is internally being integrated. Can you hear me? I think maybe some network issues.
You've frozen for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah. The internet is there's some
Yeah.
yeah. So what these people they say that you got. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. You are.
So these energy these programs have been already integrated and their server is in somewhere in the Germany. So these programs is actually creating a frequency.
What is the input? Is it sound? What is it?
Vibrations of internal vibrations of in a person.
How is it? How are you doing it? How is it being activated?
So it will keep you next to your body.
What?
And it will.
What will you keep next to your body?
That's a device. It's called Healy. It's a small device.
Okay, it's a device. So what does it output? What is the output of that device?
Output of the device is it will actually generate the vibrations and frequencies where they will.
I'm asking you again, what is the output of the device? Is it sound? Is it radio frequency? What is it?
It's radio frequency.
So if it is radio frequency, what will resonate with radio frequency is the frequency of the body that is pliable to that particular frequency only. Not all the frequencies.
Absolutely. That is why it has various programs of various kind of issues.
Again, you have to go deeper into it because as of now, it is not making sense to me.
Okay.
If somebody is saying this project works, you have to figure out how does this project work. Okay, as a doctorate yourself, you need to ask these questions.
I have asked. That's why, they were not making sense to me. That is why.
So if it's not making sense to you, you have to ask more questions.
That is why I was so inquisitive to, hear from you as being an expert in this field. I want to understand from your understanding that how these products can be useful. There's another product which was being even propagated by Tony Robbins. It's called Energy Enhancement System.
Okay.
And yeah, and it is a system where I'll give you the link also, where they're inside the room they have a certain PCs that computers are set up with certain light frequencies.
Okay.
And various magnetic devices are also being placed on all the sides of the room. So they are also enhancing the energy system. So what they're doing, they're making the environment.
You cannot enhance any energy. Okay. You can either create an energy system in which the object, in this case, the human body, gets magnetized or it gets demagnetized.
Yes. Yes.
So it's an electromagnetic system that is being created.
Yes.
Right. So we all have electromagnetic frequencies. Our neurons are working on electromagnetic frequencies.
Yes.
Right. So the question is also we are all affected by the Earth's gravitational pull and the Earth's electromagnetic fields.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't have enough information about this product to actually tell you, whether it's good or not, because the physics doesn't sound logical to me. Right?
Yeah.
So if they can elaborate as to how it works, then I can comment. If they are saying it works, please take it. I will not accept it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was also not having that kind of an understanding and a deep knowledge about, although they use certain kind of physics related terminologies and keywords.
So you need to ask questions.
Yeah,
Whoever is selling, you need to ask questions that how does it work?
because they say it's they will create a bioresident field to
Yeah,
change the
all these are meaningless. They're just big words meant to
yeah,
sound nice.
absolutely. So one more thing I want to know, do you use certain kind of energy tools, in your work, like certain tools or
Not
techniques?
in organizational work, but yes, I do believe that energy work does work. I am a Reiki master as well.
Okay,
I do it personally with my family, but not uh, you know in organizations.
okay. And you truly you work with your family with on Reiki. You
Yes.
trained yourself in Reiki?
No. I have learned from a master.
Okay, you learned from
I've gone to the Reiki master level.
okay.
Yeah.
Because and another question, because I was even I have done EFT and I was doing EFT with people.
Mhm.
Somewhere there's somebody said that people should not work with the energy in a psychology systems, these kind of modalities, because
Why
it
not?
can because they can intervene into in their other person's energy patterns to
Yeah. So
create.
there are always rules which have to be followed before you do
Hmm.
such stuff.
I want to
Okay.
know those rules.
You have to earth yourself first. You have to
Okay.
when you're working with energy, it should not be your energy against that person's energy. It should be the energy of the system and that person's energy. You are just a facilitator.
Yeah,
You're not giving away your energy to that person. Otherwise, you'll be depleted of energy.
absolutely. So it's conducting from a dissociate level.
Yes. Yes. You have to do it from a dissociated level.
Absolutely. So if you can, give us a little idea about any of the examples that what exactly you've been doing in the organization, any of the example, the current example that, worked with any of the organization related to what was the pre and the post work, how it impacted and what was and how, special part is like how you do the assessment part of your training. I think that's where I'm interested. What are the techniques and tools you use to do assess the training part in the end of the
So
trainings?
again, by speaking to the people, by speaking to the stakeholders, by speaking to part of the team which is not performing well, speaking to their managers, speaking to the management as to what is expected from them, how are they measuring their
Hmm.
successes or failure. So it's a
Hmm.
holistic view of everything. What are the rules under which they are working? What are the uh, drawbacks that they are facing? If they are facing any problem, is the manager helping sorting it out? What happens? Are they expected to do it on their own? Do they have the wherewithal? Do they have the skill sets to do it on their own?
Hmm.
So all these things.
So this is one of the interviewing people and having the observation of the
Yeah,
assessment.
it's interview people. That's the only way you get authentic information. If you send them a questionnaire, they will write down whatever they want to write, which may or may not be true.
Or any other tool like Kirkpatrick these days people are using. I've used Kirkpatrick,
Mm.
something like that.
I am not using any other tool. I'm only using human behavioral analysis. That's it. Because
Okay.
I think all other tools are biased. They give you biased results. That's my personal feeling. And my experience has been we have been 100% authentic, 100% on the money in assessment.
Mm, absolutely. So one more question related to this particular time which we are going through, because these days a lot of people they speak that the time which we are going through, everybody is having an influence and impact, and these anxieties and stress level in people, they are enhancing too much.
Mhm.
So what do you think, what is the cause, what is the
The cause is
actual
people are focusing more on what they don't have than what they have. If you are focusing on what you don't have, you are passing out a negative vibration, to use your language. So if you are passing out a negative vibration, you are only going to attract negative stuff. So if more and more people are throwing out negative vibration, more and more negative stuff is happening. It requires, everybody to start focusing on what they have, what is happy in their life, what have they achieved, and automatically things will become better.
Absolutely. And as you said, language, because I also truly believe that speech is one of the basic thing which is a part of a creation.
Mhm.
How someone can have a proper eye on the speech, that what I'm
Note,
speaking, or being so
notice,
conscious about
notice what you are using. Notice whether you are speaking in clean language or whether you are using a lot of comparisons or using a lot of negations or using a lot of dissociative language. Notice once you start speaking, you will realize, or if you are sending a WhatsApp message, you'll realize, or if you are sending a text message or writing an email, you'll realize. Once you write it, read it before you send it. You'll realize that, oh shit, what have I written?
But most of the
So
times they're unconscious, no? These are subconscious
it is
patterns. These are
not most of the time.
subconscious,
It's always unconscious.
always
Language
unconscious.
is unconscious. Yes, you don't think I'm going to use these words. You are just, you have a thought and then you send it into language. So from the deep structure, you come to the surface structure.
Yes. So how a layman and a person, or suppose that if I want to train a teenager, how I can help my teenager daughter?
By showing her first her language. I think people learn best when they learn about themselves, and then they can apply it in others. So, for example, if say सबको गर्मी लग रही है, right? She cannot know सबको क्या लग रही है. She is feeling warm. But why is she saying sabko? Why is she generalizing it? It's because she is uncomfortable in saying that I am feeling this way. So she is not comfortable with her feelings. Right. So just by seeing one phrase, you can figure out what is going on inside the person's head. It's language analysis is so powerful. Unfortunately, people don't want to do it because it's hard work.
Yes, it's hard work. Yes. But I am really interested in that because somewhere, not in a very big work, somewhere I have done a little meta modeling with you and with other couple of people and understanding, very conscious about my words also. Yeah. But still I am unconscious about my words and compiling and complicating my life.
It's a work in progress. You will get better and better as you practice further.
So that's what, what are the other tools? Like speech is one of the aspects I can truly, what are the other things?
Physiology, how they hold their bodies, how they react. It's just reading people.
So any couple of tweaks, if you can just guide us, on something which is very commonly seen in people related to their physiology, anything. Okay, let me ask you one thing. I was doing a podcast similar like I was understanding about my posture and still I'm seeing that always my head is always tilted. And when I go and see the recordings, I don't know why it happens unconsciously. My head is always tilted like this. My father used to do and speak like this.
So there are two things. One is that when you speak to yourself, you're speaking on one ear, and when you listen to others, you generally rely on the other ear. So although we use both ears for listening, we are predominantly using one ear for self-talk and the other ear for listening to others. So when you are listening intently, you will find that you'll be tilted on one side. When you're not listening intently, your head will become straight, which means that you're doing self-talk at that point of time.
That makes a lot of sense. Yes, absolutely. So wonderful. Thank you. This was very interesting. And I know there are a lot of other these small body language insights. And if you can give us a little more on this, like something which is very, very common in people.
See, again, each person is different, right? You have to treat everybody differently. You cannot treat 4 people the same way. So depending on what they do, you need to analyze as to why they are doing it and notice if they are doing it over and over again. And they'll give out their pattern of behavior. So it's a question of observing without being distracted. unfortunately, nowadays people listen in order to respond and not because they want to listen.
Hmm.
So unless you really listen to what that person is saying, you will not be able to analyze them. If you are
Hmm.
trying to, waiting for them to stop so that you can butt in, that's not listening.
I got it. Yes. So,
Also, human behavior doesn't work on templates. Most of the time we are looking for templates. के ये है, इसके ऊपर लागू है, चिपका दो. Now I know about that person. It
hmm.
doesn't work like that. So when you
Yeah.
say what is something common to a lot of people, I can't answer because there's nothing. I find there's nothing
Yeah.
common to
Yes. Yeah.
people.
I think that's not a sensible question. I truly I can get it on that part now, that
Yeah.
every human being is a unique person, and every conversation, people, they have a different combinations. I can understand that.
Yeah.
So, I have read somewhere that if you want to, now talking about the state of mind, because
Mhm.
there was one thing which I've read, that if you want to change your state of mind in the moment, you have to change your physiology, in that particular moment. So, so it was making little sense to me, but I want to understand from you that if you want to change the state if you got to know about your state, there are NLP tools, techniques to change the state, because it's
Yeah.
all
So
about
the
what.
the body and mind is one system. It works on one system, right?
Hmm,
So if you see that if a person is sad, they will be slumped, their body will compress, right?
hmm, hmm,
If they are happy, they will open up. So
hmm,
if you open up, automatically your thoracic cavity is increasing. If your
hmm,
thoracic cavity is increasing, you're taking in more air into your lungs. If you're
hmm,
taking in more air into your lungs, more oxygen is going to your brain. So if more oxygen going into your brain, which means your neurocortex comes into play. Lesser
yes,
oxygen going into brain, only your the reptilian brain and the amygdala will be functioning. So you'll
yes,
be more pliable to become sad. So
hmm,
it's all connected and it's scientific. If you change your posture, automatically your feelings will change.
yes, very true. Because there's even Dr. Joe Dispenza. I hope you
Yeah,
heard about him.
yeah, yeah,
He's actually talking about these in a very scientific way.
yeah. Joe
And
Dispenza, Gabor Mate, all of them are talking the same thing. Yeah,
yeah, and in his certain programs, I have done one of online program with Dr. Joe Dispenza, where he is also using the modalities. Somewhere I have found the modalities enhancing the Kundalini, because
yeah,
the
yeah. It's
meditations.
see, the origin of knowledge is the Indian subcontinent. It's the Vedic sciences, right? That's the origin. From
Hmm,
here, it moved westwards and eastwards and everywhere, and over the period of time, it has you know transformed and it is coming back to us from the west,
yeah.
right? So that's how it is. So and we being from India, if we don't know our origins, it's a sad thing. Uh,
Hmm,
and I think we should all, it's time for us to go back to our basics and to learn from the original text
hmm.
and get the original as to how evolved we used to be, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 years back.
So, do you practice anything which is more, anything related to your
I
ancient
read a
knowledge?
lot. I read a lot and I connect between modern psychology and Vedic sciences, and I find a lot of connections between the two. In fact, we have created a modality called SA, right?
Okay.
Uh, which incorporates not only mind-based therapies, but also body-based and energy-based therapies together in order
Hmm.
to work with people. So that's we are in a process of writing a book on that on SA. Once that comes out, we'll promote it a bit more. But as of now, we have compiled it in a process of formalizing it.
So, what does this mean? The word "sa" mean?
SA is the start and the end of the Sargam.
Yeah, sa re ga ma,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So if sa is your birth and the other sa is your death, the rest is in the middle is your life. So we
Yeah.
want your life to be as harmonious as possible. So if we can fix
Oh,
the sa, we can fix the harmony.
that's so beautiful. Yeah. Waiting for that book to come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although may I practice these Isha modalities, the Isha ki
Yes.
practices, where they're
Anji.
also they're working the yogic
Yes,
postures.
if you get into depth, you will find that everybody is saying the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
using a different language.
Yes.
Right?
But
It's just the problem is that when one says that that is wrong and I am right, that's where the problem starts. If you realize that what he's saying is a different perspective and he's also right, and what I'm
hmm,
saying is a different perspective and I'm also right, if they
hmm,
can give you the logic,
hmm,
there is no harm in saying that he's right as well.
hmm.
And I always say that. But when people come and say that okay, this is this gadget and it will change your biofeedback,
Yeah.
my first question to them is how?
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. Although they give us a beautiful understanding and the knowledge behind how this works. I'll share the links with you. I couldn't able to understand, how this works because it was not fitting in my brain. And my friend was asking me, "This is of 2 lakhs, you buy it." I was like, "Let me understand ki hota kya hai ye pehle, how this works," because it was not making sense to me. And as another people like Tony Robbins, highly famous people, they are also having these energy enhancement systems. तो वो भी मुझे समझ नहीं आया, but somewhere it was clicking in my mind कि कुछ तो है कि these things are working. That's why people various across the world people are using these systems. And there's another tool now coming up by another NLP experts known as helmet. So if you'll wear this AI tool on your head, it will see your patterns and pata nahi. So all these things are coming up these days. Maybe because of AI. How do you think? Like, I know you've been traveling all across the world, understanding human behavior, doing, meeting different people. मतलब मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी, have you ever encountered people like this using AI with neurosciences and human behaviors?
yes.
How it,
In fact there is a there is a company based out of Noida who we had interacted with some time back called Newphony, and they have a fantastic tool, Newphony, Neuphony. Okay, Newphony. They have it's an EEG tool which they put on your head and you can measure your alpha, beta, delta, and theta waves. So it's again it's an input modality. By wearing it, you can figure out what is working for you, what is not working for you. But it's again, I say it's a passive mode. It's not an active thing. So it doesn't change anything. It just tells you what is working for you and what is not working for you.